Season 2 of Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan sees the titular character heading to Venezuela to investigate the country's relationship with a ship transporting mysterious goods. Meanwhile, Jim Greer is also investigating something relating to a Russian satellite launch. The story this season is a mixed bag. It starts off with some interesting espionage elements that do a good job at getting the ball rolling. It's all a little mysterious and slightly convoluted, but also very fun and action-packed. Sadly, as the season progresses, the story starts to fall apart in certain areas, and in an attempt to cover up these issues, more and more action scenes are presented. While the show never stops being fun and enjoyable, thanks to expertly crafted action and great thriller and spy tropes, parts of the story simply don't make much sense towards the end of the 8-episode season. Without going into spoilers, the days of Jack Ryan being a desk-based analyst are long gone. By the end of the season, he's rushing into enemy territory, seemingly willing and able to shoot and kill everyone in sight. There's also little sign of any consequences for any of the supposed good guys' actions, meaning the overall resolution left me scratching my head at the incredulous events. Then there's the political storyline concerning the main villains. The villains themselves are boring and stereotypical, so few of their scenes are all that gripping or interesting. To top that, the depiction of the Venezuelan people, its government and country are incredibly problematic. It's almost as if someone in the Jack Ryan writers' room has some beef with the country, or the writers wanted to show yet again why America is supposedly the greatest country in the world. Luckily, the acting across the board is pretty good. John Krasinski continues to be likeable and relatable as the titular character, and Jim Greer has an interesting personal storyline running throughout this season. Sadly, the new characters don't fare so well. In the first few episodes of this season, characters are introduced and are given the bare basic of development. From that point onwards, the show is more interested in presenting an action-packed spy thriller than exploring its characters. This left me caring very little about anyone in particular and not being all that invested in the quest of the main characters either. The show really shines in terms of production. It has great visuals and beautiful cinematography, making almost every shot look like a piece of art. The short episodes also make everything fly by, adding to the exciting action and helping make the show enjoyable. There's also a suitably emotive soundtrack and score that sets the tone and mood of the show pretty well. Ultimately, the second season of Jack Ryan is a little disappointing, but still very fun and enjoyable. I'd recommend it to fans of the first season, but it should be noted that there are striking similarities to numerous other spy shows and films, most of which are better than this. I'm about to go into some spoilers now, so if you haven't seen the show yet, give it a watch and come back and watch the rest of this. Before going anywhere though, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @the_Grant Burton, and you can subscribe to my channel with just a click of a button. Please do that because the more subscribers I get, the more my channel can grow, and I really appreciate it. Now it's time for full spoilers. Firstly, there's the villain and his overall goal. He's corrupt and he locks up anyone who opposes him, and he even goes so far as to killing people against his reign. Clearly there's no limit to what he'll do to stay in power, except rig an election. By the end of the season, he brings the scheduled election forward in an attempt to sway the votes, but there's no sign of him actually rigging it, and it left me scratching my head a bit. Why did he stop there? Did he really think he stood a chance at winning? It doesn't make sense. Then there's Jack Ryan's transition from desk analyst to action star. At the end of the season, he raised the palace in Venezuela in an unsanctioned assault. He kills people left, right and centre, clearly breaking laws and rules. Yet nothing comes of it. There aren't any consequences, there's no sign of punishment. Why? He went rogue. It doesn't make sense. Can any US soldier simply assault a political office in a foreign country, kill numerous people and get away with it? Even if those people are bad? Finally, where is Abby Cornish? She was a major character in the first season and she's a major character in the books, but she's not in this season at all. She doesn't even get mentioned in passing. She's simply vanished. In fairness, because the show is set almost entirely in a foreign country, there's little reason for her to be in it, but some sort of mention would have been nice. Should we expect her to return in the future, or has she gone for good? Again, she was an important character. That's my review of Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan Season 2. It's fun, it's entertaining, but its story has some significant problems.